Welcome to 5-Minute Math. This is Carrie Rhinehart. Today I'm going to be looking at characteristics of square root functions. If you're following along in the book, it's from Algebra 1, Unit 5, Lesson 9. Okay, so here is a square root function. It's been reflected over the x-axis because it's opening down, but we can still find the characteristics just like any other function. So the first one that we always find is our domain. And remember, domain is how far to the left, how far to the right does this value go. It's the x values. Well, this goes to this point. It doesn't go any further left than that. And again, we want x values for domain. So the furthest that it goes to the left is -4. Okay? And it goes all the way there, so we have a bracket. -4 is the left bound. And then if we stay on this, and if we kept going, it would keep going forever to the right. So it goes to positive infinity because the right, again, x values, is positive infinity. So it goes only to -4. That's as far left as it goes, but it's going to go right forever, so it goes to positive infinity. Now, range is how far down to how far up. It's the y values. Okay, so let me erase this here. Oops. Okay, let me erase this. Okay. Now, before we were going to the right, but it's also going down. Okay, it's going down to the right forever. So it will go down also, and we want the y value, so that's negative infinity. It's going down forever. So negative infinity is its lower bound. Okay. And then it wants to know what's the top. Well, the top of this is this ordered pair. Okay, that point. It does not go any further above that. And that y value is 2. Okay? So our range here is from negative infinity to 2, and it's a bracket with 2 because it actually goes all the way to the value of 2. All right, then we want to look, is there a max or a min here? Okay. Well, since there's a top point, something that it doesn't go above, right here, that is a maximum. Okay? And for max and min, you want the y value, so the maximum is at 2. Okay. In behavior tells you where the arms are going. On the left side and on the right side, what y value is it reaching? So it's always written as x approaches negative infinity, y approaches blank, and as x approaches positive infinity, y approaches blank. Well, as x approaches negative infinity, that means as we move left, okay, so if we were on this function going left, okay, we're going to hit an end point. We're going to hit that point and we can't go any further. And that y value is at 2. Now, here it says as x goes to infinity, so that's as we go right. There is no end point. It keeps going. It keeps going to the right forever, and it keeps going down forever. So the y value is negative infinity because it's going down as we move to the right, and it never stops going down. All right, then we've got intervals of increase and decrease. Okay, there's only either one here. There's an interval of increase or there's an interval of decrease. Okay? In this case, this function is going down. Okay? So the interval of increase doesn't exist, none. And then your interval of decrease will always be the same as your domain. So your interval of decrease here is -4 to infinity. All right, and then the last thing you may be asked is rate of change, and that's just a fancy word of saying slope. They'll give you the x values where they want you to find the slope or the rate of change. And let's say we do go from 2 to 10. So what you should do is find those ordered pairs. We need an ordered pair where x is 2 and an ordered pair where x is 10. Okay. All right, well, when it's 2, that ordered pair is 2, -1. So we got 2, -1. And then we can't see 10 on this picture, so let's do a different value here. Let's say from 2 to 6. And so we need the ordered pair 6 here with x, 6 in for x. Well, that ordered pair is right about here. I'm going to approximate that's about -2.8, okay, because it's not at an exact whole number, so we're just estimating. And then we need to do our slope formula. Remember the change in y over change in x. So I'm going to take my y, negative 2.8, and subtract the other one, negative 1. And then x, 6, minus the other x, 2. And that should just be a positive 2, not a negative there. So I get negative 2.8 minus negative 1, which becomes plus. So that's negative 1.8 over 6 minus 2 is 4. So if I type that into my calculator, negative 1.8 divided by 4, I get negative 0.45.